This is your sign to start. Almost a year ago, I recorded an interview with Maxim, the master of the St. Petersburg factory, who withdrew more than $3,000 from the Upscale prop trading platform. And today, we'll see how his trading journey has changed and whether it's really possible to achieve great results through discipline. Here's a little spoiler for you. He made even more money. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and let's get started. Maxim, hi.
Hi, Igor. It's really great to hear from you.
We haven't seen you in a while. It's been almost a year. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can.
It's true. We really haven't seen each other in a long time. Your last interview was pretty interesting and eventful. And at the end, you said you wanted to start trading with $100,000. Can you share what your current results are on Upscale and whether you've reached your goal?
All right, let's go over the results a bit. Since our first interview, I blew both accounts. I had two accounts, one for $10,000 and one for $100,000. The $10,000 one was for funding the $100,000 account. I passed the first stage, just the challenge, and then on the second stage, I blew both accounts. So I had about 2.5 months. If I remember correctly, I had a successful trading streak, but then the market broke me. And I got kicked out of the funding program. That was just about 2 months ago. I guess, I don't know, I had a really intense struggle with myself. During that period, about 8 months or so, I think I had around 15 accounts with $10,000 each, and I kept blowing them one after another. I'd open a new account, blow it, and now on my 15th $10,000 account, I finally managed to get funded again.
It sounds like a movie trailer for an action film, honestly. The way you just described it, there was this tension. I could really feel it building up.
Yeah, it really was a battle. You could say it was a fight for survival.
Yeah, can you show us your current certificates? So, it turns out that you initially passed the challenge on June 30th. In 2025, you withdrew. Can you click and show us everything? There's a plus button there. So at first it was $800, then $490, $1,500, and $860. And then something went wrong.
And then something went wrong, and
Only on February 17th, after getting a new account, you were able to get funded by Qdia again. The result on it at the moment?
the results are a bit more modest, of course, but still overall very respectable, I think.
842, 697, 366, and 411. It's like enough for a grocery basket for cushion, and maybe there's even enough left over for something else nice.
Now there's another payout coming up. It looks like the withdrawal will be tomorrow. It's a small amount too, but overall, not bad. There was a small loss. Yesterday, there was one successful trade, but I didn't take it, unfortunately. I set a stop to break even, and I got knocked out by the news. Otherwise, instead of $427, it could have been about $650, I guess, for withdrawal. Well, it is what it is. Overall, the result is still pretty good. In 2 weeks, that's a little over 4% added to the deposit. I think that's pretty good.
But why don't I see that $100,000 account among your accounts? The remarkable one. Did something change in your life?
You don't see the $100,000 account because I haven't earned enough for it yet. That's why you don't see it. My plan is to do the $100,000 challenge, but I need to earn the money first. And I need to earn it on Upscale. The money I've made so far hasn't gone toward the challenge yet. For now, that money is going toward my own wants, but soon I'll be able to start saving up. The new challenge, though, is not going to be for $100,000, but for $200,000.
It's nice to hear that, no matter what. Speaking of your wants, I remember during our last interview, when I asked you what you spent your money on, you said it mostly went toward living expenses. But here, I set up a trading station for myself. You got yourself a chair, a monitor, and
Could you tell us?
about the all-in-one computer? How's it doing now? Does it help you with trading? And was it the right decision? So,
Of course, it was honestly the best decision I've ever made in my life.
and how does it help you? I mean, how'd you trade back then, and how do you trade now?
My trading style has changed a little, but honestly, nothing drastic has really happened. The tools, I still use pretty much the same ones, mostly. Well, I did add a couple of new tools, but those are kind of my own creations, developed with the help of neural networks. ChatGPT helps, just in case you were wondering. Well, it's like I just developed a few indicators for myself, like a session indicator and stuff like that. Nothing major.
Are you planning to add anything else to your workspace? Or are you satisfied with everything as it is right now?
For now, I'm satisfied with everything as it is. Actually, I have not just one but two workspaces. One workspace is at home, and the other is at my job, because I often trade at work too. And
So, look, about your job. In that interview, you said you had a really frustrating loss because you were tired during your shift. And because of that, you didn't keep an eye on a drawdown. It's been almost a year. Has anything changed in your discipline? Because you said that Upscale helps you stay disciplined. So, what progress have you made in that area?
well, at one point, my discipline completely broke down since I lost everything. The challenges after the first interview, right? Something just went wrong. And for a long time, I couldn't get my discipline back on track. So basically, sometimes I would buy a challenge and then lose it. Like I'd blow it in literally a week. I even think there was a time when I lost a challenge in just 3 days. Then I'd immediately get a new one, and again, it just wouldn't work out, and I'd end up in the red. Well, there were profitable trades, but usually I just didn't take them, and then I'd get stopped out. I'd look at the loss and think like, man, I really need to do something about this. I tried to win it back, yeah, but it didn't work out. I'd end up even deeper in the red. The account would get closed again. I'd open a new one. And honestly, it was really hard psychologically to reach any kind of stability.
Why do you think that was happening?
Honestly, it's hard to say. It was like some kind of breakdown, really. For a long time, I just couldn't pull myself together. I kept breaking the rules I'd set for myself, taking on too much risk, trading on emotions, and that's what was ruining me. But now things have kind of settled down. I found some balance and inner strength, and now, honestly, I like the way I trade and how I behave during trading. I don't take on too much risk anymore. I stick to my trading strategy. I trade with 10% of my deposit using 5 times leverage, and my stop losses are usually somewhere between 0.2% and 0.7% of my deposit. And now I strictly stick to this. I always enter trades with exactly $1,000. So basically, that's 10% of my current deposit. In general, I'm not breaking any rules right now, and everything's pretty much in order. At the moment,
Since you brought up your trading strategy, let's take a look at your updated versions for 2026. Let's switch over to TradingView and you can tell us about your little buddies, your pies.
we have the Bitcoin chart here, but as for the trading strategy, overall it has changed a little bit. Maybe I've started using some new tools there. Well, for example, those same sessions, I didn't develop them with a neural network, but it's actually a pretty useful indicator. I've stopped drawing patterns. I used to draw them before, but now I don't. By the way, if you notice, Bitcoin has formed a double bottom on the 4-hour chart. We had a level here, or you could call it a liquidity cluster. People call it differently, whatever's more convenient for them. So we've come to test it now. And honestly, I think this is a turning point. If we stay above this level, that means we go long. If we drop below, then that's it. We're probably going to fall to a new low. That's what I'm thinking.
Wonderful. So, can you tell us what your current trading strategy is based on?
My decisions, like whether I enter a trade or not, well, again, as I mentioned in the previous interview, the more confirmations you have, the better, right? Basically, I have a pretty decent set of indicators. They're all different. Some are trend indicators, session indicators, and so on. I use RSI, stochastic, things like that. MACD as well. And here's how I enter a position, roughly speaking. Let's say I see a level has formed. Right now, we have our level marked out. We approach it, and let's say we see some divergences there. We see on the RSI and again on the stochastic that everything is oversold. Those are the kinds of signals we look for, yeah. And that can be, so to speak, a point of entry at those moments. I also use some other tools, but I don't really want to talk about them. Honestly, that'll be my little secret.
Do you have something to hide from our viewers, Maxime?
Of course, everyone does. Everyone has something to hide. Everyone has their little secrets.
So, I suggest our viewers subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a bunch of comments so that Maxim will share his secrets with us in the next interview.
Back to that same point, yeah. I'd also like to add a little note that I always try to act from certain zones. Right now, again, looking at Bitcoin, I expected it would actually poke up to $69,000, ideally $70,000. Because here we have a large FVG, but honestly, we didn't quite reach it. And that's what bothers me. Would I want to short exactly from these levels? 69 to 70. Well, that's just my personal opinion. So for now, from here, I'm considering, let's say, some longs. I might even take a position right now. By the way, the stop is actually pretty tight. So yeah, if I were to set it, but 66 live on air, I'm not going to take a position, but it's fine. I just feel like knowing myself, I probably would have taken it right now.
So, Czar, one more quick question. And we've gone over your brief crash course analysis on Bitcoin. You used to love trading meme coins, and since then, has anything changed for you? Or are you still in the meme coins, Bitcoin, all sorts of altcoins and other coins?
Coins. I still have the same old ones. The only thing I've added is oil and indexes. That's what's new that I've added. I just keep an eye on it sometimes. But mostly now, with memes and altcoins, it's kinda, well, I've mostly moved away from alts like Fartcoin, ADA, and stuff like that. Most of my trades now are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. But I did go long on TON here, and that went pretty well too.
So, what made you switch so suddenly? So, the assets you mentioned, they're established, especially the indexes. Those are multi billion, even trillion dollar stories.
Yeah, but I don't actually trade indexes. I just check them out sometimes. And as for the switch, well, let's say Bitcoin, Ethereum, yeah, and Solana, it's the same thing. They're less volatile instruments, more liquid instruments. And according to my trading model, since I trade with 10% of my deposit using 5 times leverage, my trading model involves pretty tight stop losses. And with some altcoins, like Fartcoin or whatever, setting those kinds of stops is really tough. You have to enter very precisely, right on the edge. That's why it's more convenient to trade less volatile instruments.
You've been with Offscale for over a year. So that's for real, right? I mean, your account that was originally for funding, it's from June. Right now, we're recording this in June, but it's already the next year. Share your honest opinion about how Offscale has developed over this past year, and what did you like the most?
Offscale has been developing in a pretty positive way. It's been quite dynamic, and there are new things coming up. It's getting easier there, which is great, and the company's development's impressive. Overall, I think it's all really great. Wonderful. Honestly, the only thing is, I don't use the new pro accounts myself. I prefer the classic accounts, yeah. But still, there will definitely be someone who likes your other product more, you know? Overall, I think Upscale is moving in the right direction in terms of development. And honestly, it's the best prop firm in the CIS and beyond, in my opinion. That's what I think.
Hearts are flying. It's always nice to hear that. Was there anything technical in particular that you liked? So, you mentioned the accounts. Maybe, I don't know, you like that we have a trailing stop, for example, or something like that. We added something and you thought, oh, I wanted that. I needed that. Was there anything like that?
Well, you did add something. I actually mentioned it as a request. It's the close all button. All trades at once. but you actually added it quite a while ago, and honestly, that was a really powerful update. I'm really glad you did it.
You deployed just one button and it brought so much happiness. I've already mentioned that you've been with Upscale for over a year, you have a bunch of accounts, and you're a profitable funded trader. So, despite that, how many accounts have you lost? In any case, thanks to those withdrawals from the 10,000 account and from the current one and from the new withdrawal, you're still in the black. So, what advice would you give to traders who also want to start their journey in prop trading?
Well, the main thing I would advise is not to give up. If someone sets a goal for themselves, they need to go after that goal. Work for it, achieve it. From my own experience, when I gave you my first interview, I said that even if I blow all my accounts, 10,000, 100,000, I still won't stop. I'll keep trying, keep trading. That's basically how it turned out. Turns out I blew both accounts. For a long time, I couldn't get back to good results. But in the end, my persistence paid off. And once again, I got funded. Overall, I'm trading successfully now. So most importantly, I wish everyone persistence. It's a very important factor in trading.
Max, all that's left for me is to thank you for this wonderful short interview, wish you profits, and point out that your journey is the best example of how discipline pays off in the long run.
I want to express my deep gratitude to Upscale for simply existing, for coming into my life. Because once again, Upscale provides a very important tool. I would even say it's essential for me, since I don't need any of my own capital. I can use Upscale's capital and grow as a trader with it. So I want to express my deepest gratitude to Upscale for giving people this opportunity to realize themselves without needing crazy amounts of money.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, don't forget to hit the bell, and I'll see you at the top.